Hi, I'm Ian Cooperman, a strategic account manager at ISOS Technology, and I'm here with our Atlassian consultant, Dan Wilson. And today we're going to be talking about the benefits of a properly governed Jira environment. So if Jira is too open, has too much flexibility, it ends up being a mess. And what ends up happening is you sort of notice performance and latency issues with your instance, and you have a lot of trouble reporting on your projects. You have projects that use different configurations and different terminology, then it ends up becoming a big problem with reporting. What are some of the things that you've seen, Dan?
We found admins are afraid too much governance and lockdown might slow down teams. Quite often, we find this to be the opposite. The next challenge they have is getting buy-in from the teams and users. They've gotten used to doing things the way they like to do them. And so having this control is not their favorite outcome of governance. Many teams don't know how to manage requests for making changes in the Jira instance and need a process to get those requests into the system and vetted by the team to make sure they make sense for the processes the company is using.
All right, so you're probably asking, well, how do we solve this problem? A couple things, segmenting teams and projects in Jira by type. So, most organizations, they have types of projects, types of programs, initiatives, certain types of teams that you can organize into functions and by type. And what you can do inside of Jira is do the same thing with the projects, the Jira projects that are in there. So for instance, you might have 20 projects in your instance that have, some variation of a workflow. Let's take those projects that are similar, standardize, and implement them across projects.
Another thing, as we mentioned, is governance. This is really the change control and management of your Jira instance. It's a process for people to request changes, new apps and fields, and making sure that we're not duplicating and causing a mess again. We ask the end users to bring a business justification for why they want to make the change and how it will impact their projects, and have it looked at as a whole to see how it will impact all of Jira. How are they going to implement the change within their project is key to make sure that what they're actually trying to solution will work. We've also found a community of practice is very important. Quite often, companies will implement a community of practice where teams of Scrum Masters come together and talk about how their processes are going together, how the governance is helping them achieve their goals. Quite often, we suggest you go with a cross-functional team so that the members of the community of practice bring different perspectives, not just the Scrum Masters. The developers and the other key stakeholders may have problems that the Scrum Masters aren't aware of that this can help with.
So what does success look like with ISO's technology? Well, ISOs will bring you the recommendations on changes. So we take what your instance looks like. We base that off of the experience that we've had over 10 years, I think, Dan, of experience cleaning up Jira instances. So we will take that understanding, that knowledge, and provide you a solid recommendation on changes. Dan, what are some other points that ISOs will help out with?
Well, Ian, we like to look for quick wins. What are the low-hanging fruit is always a good place to start. As we've mentioned, duplicate fields and workflows that aren't being used, those are things that really help us get you moving in the right direction. Standardization is a great way to make sure things stay clean as we move forward. And keeping that clean instance will help your teams be more efficient as they're working through. As we implement these changes, we're also looking for opportunities to do knowledge transfer to your team members. We want to help them understand the whys, not just the hows. And we want to make sure that you are able to maintain a clean environment. We also want to help identify processes that fit your needs and explain the whys, as I mentioned. Understand the value of governance rules and finding that sweet spot for your teams to function and keep things clean as they do so. Thanks for joining us today as we talked about the benefits of properly governed Jira environments. For more information, check out our webinar, 5 Rules for Cleaning and Organizing Your Atlassian House, at the link below.